Okay guys, well done on winning the FA Cup final. It's a tremendous achievement for yourselves and for the club. You should all be very proud of yourself. But we still have a very, very big and important European final to come. And it's important that we remain humble and we don't get carried away in the fan euphoria. Now go home, have an early night, switch off your phones. It's a big day tomorrow. Me, I've got to go out and bask in the fan glory. I'm like a god around here. Hey guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to episode 14 of season 3 of our Leeds United bid to win the Champions League for the club for the first time. And today it is a European final. We don't host Celtic, we're going to Paris. We're playing Celtic in Paris. And it's going to be huge. Now there is also, after the game, our end of season awards. Who will be this season's player of the season? We'll find out then. And of course there will also be, at the very end of the episode, our goal of the season competition. Your chance to vote for our goal of the season. So make sure that you go and do that as well. But we haven't missed anything. We've come straight back. A very concentrated week from the players. I've, just let the fans praise me like they want to. Because, who am I to say no? And this is it. We get to the Europa League Final. This is a chance, of course, for European football, Champions League football, I should say, as well. We've already guaranteed ourselves to be back in the Europa League next year after winning the FA Cup last episode. And we are the favourites for the final, which is good. Now, Celtic, if we go and have a quick reminder of their route to the final, they've beaten some big teams. They have knocked out Lazio in the semi-finals, which we knew. They've knocked out Arsenal in the quarterfinals, which isn't a bad achievement. And they've knocked out Chelsea as well. So they are clearly a decent team. So this is not going to be easy. Now, I've had a look at the way they play. Darren O'Day is their manager. Now, he used to play for them, didn't he, I think? He's a decent manager. I would be surprised if he's at Celtic next season, to be honest. They're a very cautious, direct style of play. Now, you probably can't see that behind my head. So basically, they're going to try and hit us on the break. They're sort of a poor man's Liverpool, perhaps. We can see here now, again, these are Scottish Premier League fixtures, so I don't know how much we can read into it. But it does look like they do like to attack down the wings. Ideally, we would have had sort of the Arsenal game here to have a look at. But we can see they do like to go down the wings. They're relatively compact. Passing network, we can see there. It's kind of compact in midfield. Key passes, you can see they do sort of go long-ish. But not sort of long, not full Tony Pulis. So the basic plan here is we're going to go at them the similar way that we went about the Liverpool game last time out. It's essentially the same team, I believe. You couldn't really drop anybody after that stunning performance. So Nana in goal. It's Bonifazi and Sutar as the back two. Bartelik, Phillips, and Zagre. Zagre's just been brilliant this season, hasn't he? When he's come back from injury, our young left back there. I think he's going to have he'll be the first choice left back next season the way he's going. Absolute star. McCalmont and Mariba, he'll stuff up now when you give him the big build up. McCalmont and Mariba go in midfield. Alina, goal scorer of course in the FA Cup final. It's Liao and Edouard, who we of course signed from Celtic at the start of the season. Let's see if we can qualify for the Champions League. Come on. We do, of course, have the extended bench for the final. Now, I almost put Pablo Hernandez on the bench, and then I remembered if he makes an appearance, he will get another year in his contract. So, unfortunately, there's no Pablo Hernandez, because if he's on the bench, I will almost certainly forget. Bring him on, then we'll have to be stuck with him for another year. Tell the team they're expected to go out there and prove a point today. I think it's a special day for the fans. We just want to take a bit of pressure off today. Show everybody you're born winners. All right, let's try that. I don't know if that's taking pressure off, but look at that. Wow, what a team talk Aussie villain. Go on, son. And here we go. This is exciting times. As I said, Champions League football on the line if we were to win this. I'm sure Celtic are already there, and we've lost Bartelik early on. Now, luckily with the expanded bench, we can just bring Coyle on, so that has minimal impact. It's a coin toss every game to see who plays it right back. So we haven't lost too much there. Hopefully it's not too serious an injury for Bartelik, and he'll still be able to enjoy his summer. Here we go. Calvin Phillips over a free kick. Ball in. Headed down. It's a goal for Johnny Sutar. It's 1-0. The Scottish defender heads us into the lead against the Scottish superheroes, I guess Celtic are really, aren't they? They're on a different level. They're not this year with Rangers, but that's beside the point. What a ball in by Calvin Phillips and what a header by Johnny Sutar. And it's 1-0 Leeds United after 10 minutes. Excellent stuff. Now, one thing we do potentially have to be a little bit wary of, perhaps. There we go again. Oh, we've doubled the lead. Is it going to be allowed? It is. It's the other centre-back, Bonifazi this time. Big Kev, our Italian friend, has made it 2-0 after 15, 16 minutes, and suddenly we're cruising. Let's give it a demand more, but we're ripping them to shreds. A good header from Bonifazi, wasn't it? Ripping Celtic to shreds from the set piece right now, and it's 2-0. Now, as I say, one thing we do have to be cautious of this summer, and next episode will be a summer transfer special. We'll go through and build up to what is looking as though it could be a Champions League season. Let's not speak too soon, of course, but 2-0 up is a good place to be, isn't it? I did notice Liverpool have transfer listed Jordan Henderson, and they are interested in Calvin Phillips. I don't know how that's going to play out for us. Hopefully, if we are going to be a Champions League club, Eduardo just over the bar. Hopefully, if we are going to be a Champions League club, then we'll be able to see off that interest. But there is a chance this is the last time we see Calvin Phillips in a Leeds shirt, because, yeah, if he wants to go to Liverpool, it's going to be difficult to ward them off. He is worth almost 50 million, so we'll make them pay. But this first half means nothing. If we don't keep it going the second half. Yep, don't let your focus slip like that. Excellent team talk, Aussie Villain. We're not particularly happy with Coyle's performance. The strikers actually haven't been too great. But we'll just get back out there for now. I'm actually wondering, they were a high-pressing team. You may have noticed they press really urgently. I'm wondering if we maybe need to lower the tempo to get the front players into the game. Or alternatively, we'll see how the match stats haven't really changed too much. Or if we actually need to play at a higher tempo still. You know what we might do? We might take it off, exploit the middle. I'm wondering if, because they were a little bit compact, so I'm wondering if they're sort of choking the game and we're basically playing into their choke. But the way things are sitting right now, let's go back to positive. We don't need to be attacking with 15 minutes to play here. A third goal would almost certainly see us lifting the trophy. Coyle's a good ball for Edouard. Edouard, can he play it back? He can. It's there. Oh, it's a good block off of Leao. He stuffed it up. It's there for Leao. Gets a second chance. And how often does Leao not take the second chance? Are we going to get hit on the break here? Come on, boys. Let's be sensible here. Thank you. All right, let's make some subs here. Let's start and close this thing down. Alina's not had a great game. We're 2-0 up. I think, we probably don't want to do it from this screen, actually, but I think it might be time to just bring on Gary Turpie in the middle there. Just get a ball winner in the middle of the park and just try and break up their play. Just sit in there, defend, mate. We don't need you doing anything spectacular. We might drop these guys back to fullbacks on support as well. Again, we're 2-0 up. We don't need to score more goals. I think I like that. That looks fine. We know what we might do. We might get McCalmont on support, though. What we don't want to do is we don't want to have no attacking threat. We just want to try and hold the middle of the park. And I'm hoping between Turpie and Phillips, I'll be able to do that. The other option I could have had is to move Calvin Phillips forwards and bring on, what's his name, Kene. The problem with that is that Phillips isn't a ball-winning midfielder. And I really want that ball winner in there right now. The other thing we probably don't want to be doing is being too expressive. We're 5 minutes away. Let's start and shut it down. Let's shut it down. Is it going to be set-piece magic? Oh, if they score now, it does. Let's not, just don't score. That's all they've got to do is not score. Here we go with Mariba. Has he got another one to pass? Turpie. There's for McCalmont. You can see they are still trying to close us down. They can. McCalmont slip in a striker. He's got Leao. Oh, Leao can't quite get on the end of the pass. Well defended, to be fair. Turpie knocks it down, but Phillips can't get to it. Oh, they've got 2-on-2 at the back. Hepburn has gone straight through. And Onana, that's easy for him. Easy for Onana. Let's give them some praise. Try and settle down some nerves here. Build them up with confidence. We're in stoppage time. It's Aaron Moy. I'm sorry, mate. I hate to do this to you, mate, but I need to win this game more than you do. Come on, get a tackle in. Oh, Hepburn's walked in and Onana is still there. It's not out of play, though. Dembele has it. Zagre is there, wins it, hacks it clear. And Leao cannot get onto that. They've come right into the game second half. You can see why they're a good team. Calvin Phillips, though, we're a minute over. It's there. We can't wrap it up, but they're not going to score. We've won the Europa League, boys. It wasn't a classic game. Set pieces got it for us. Our centre-backs got both the goals. Wouldn't have seen that, but boys, we are a Champions League team for next season. And only took 3 years to get us into the Champions League. That is a record speed. I did not expect it to happen that quickly, but Europa League is kind of going in through the back door, isn't it? So, we haven't maybe done it. Well, congratulations, boys. This is what dreams are made of. So there we go. Leeds celebrate a double. Like I was saying, we haven't necessarily done it maybe the way that you would expect to get into the Champions League. This Bartelic injury, 2 months. Well, enjoy your summer, mate. You're going to be hobbling around like a invalid, but that's okay. Leeds lift the Europa League. Bonuses paid out. Money in the bank. Medals for winning the Europa League. Casilla gets a medal and does what's his face? Pablo Hernandez gets a medal as well. So there we go. Excellent stuff. I am now the cream of the Australian managers. Am I actually top? It doesn't take much, does it? You win 2 trophies, or 3, with the championship, and suddenly I'm Australia's best ever manager. It's going to be one of the easiest Hall of Fames to top, honestly. Happy days for the fans. Phillips is on form. More money in the bank. And here it is. Leeds United have qualified for the Champions League. We will enter at the group stage, so that is big, big money in the bank. Initial budgets for next season, 1.1 million. Come on, 1.1 million. Wait, look at that. 74 million to spend. We'll put some of that in wages, and we will see where we want to go. Now, the big question, of course, is where do we want to spend that money? We'll come back and have a discussion about that shortly. But first of all, guys, wait right there, because it is time for our end-of-season awards. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 2022 Leeds United end-of-season awards. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Wow, what an evening this is going to be. What a season it has been. Leeds back in the Champions League, lifting a European trophy, and FA Cup champions after 50 long years as well. It's been a stunning season, and the people to thank for that are the players. And the only real way, I think, to get the evening underway is to give them a hearty round of applause. Congratulations, boys. You're all heroes. Well done. But of course, tonight is an awards evening, so let's give out some hardware. First up, it is the Golden Pen, awarded to this year's signing of the season. And he got off to a bit of a slow start. We had a fallout midway through the season. He cost us £21 million from Celtic, but all in all, I think he's had a good year. The winner of the Golden Pen is Odsone Edouard. The next award is the Golden Card, awarded to this season's worst disciplined player. And this year, it was a hard-fought contest between a number of players, a few red cards thrown in as well. But ultimately, it was consistency that won the day. With 11 yellow cards, the winner is Carlo Bartelli. Next up, it's the Golden Bullseye, awarded to the player with the best pass completion. And it's probably his last season at the club. But with 90% pass completion, he leaves with a trophy in his hand. The winner is Kiko Casilla. The next award is the Golden Spoon, awarded to the man who feeds the strikers, the man with the most assists. And this year, as it seems every year, the winner is a club legend with 11 assists. The trophy goes to Calvin Phillips. The next award is the Golden Anchor, awarded to the man that we can rely on, the man with the highest average match rating. And this year, it goes to a man, a hero of the club. 7.74 with his average match rating. Don't sit down, Calvin, because you've won the Golden Anchor. Calvin Phillips, everybody. The next award is the Golden Soother, awarded to the baby of the team, this season's best young player. And we have a young squad with a number of good, solid young players. But I think it's difficult to argue if this man is eligible for the award that he was the best amongst them. The winner of the Golden Soother is Rafael Leao. The evening is rapidly winding down, and now it's time for one of the big ones. It is the Golden Boot, of course awarded to this season's top goal scorer. And the winner this year had a slow start to the season, but came home with a wet sail. With 19 goals, he's got a boot to go with his soother, Rafael Leao. Alright, now before we get to announcing this year's Player of the Year, we do need to take a minute to acknowledge this year's Team of the Season. Now if you direct your eyes up to the board, you will see that the goalkeeper is Onana. The back four is Douglas, Suter, Tucson and Bartolik. Calvin Phillips is your defensive midfielder. It's Bogac and Mariba in centre of the park. The wingers are Bowen and Batista Maya. And the striker is, of course, Rafael Leao. Well done, boys. You've all had great seasons. Congratulations. And the time has come to announce this season's Player of the Year for Leeds United as voted by you, the Leeds United fans. And this year, with 45% of the vote, it's a defence of the trophy. He's clearly a fan favourite. He's wanted by Liverpool. Please don't leave. Calvin Phillips, you are this year's Leeds United Player of the Year. Well done, mate. Yes, Calvin, if a new contract will keep you at the club, we'll sort something out in the summer for you, okay? Jesus Christ, you didn't miss a second there, did you? Guys, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, that brings us to the end of the evening. Thank you for everybody watching at home. Thank you for you in the auditorium. Congratulations to Calvin Moneybags Phillips over there and the rest of the winners. And I look forward to seeing everybody back at Ellen Road next season as Leeds United dine at Europe's top table back in the Champions League. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your evening. I'll see you next season. So there we go, end of season awards done for another year, and Calvin Phillips, he is a fan's favourite, isn't he? And it's difficult to argue, he was really, really good, won a number of awards on the night, ahead of Leao with 37% of the vote, so very, very close, and John Souttar came in third there with 11% of the vote. Helder Costa is the goal that the game gave us, goal of the season. We'll get back to that in just a second. Signing of the season was Edouard, 21 million from Celtic. I think he just about proved himself worth it at the end there. How many goals did he end up this year with us? 30 starts, 14 goals, so 1 in 2 more or less when he starts. Didn't have a very good Carabao Cup campaign, did he? But yeah, I mean, we'll maybe expect a little bit more from him next season now that he's had time to settle in as well. Champions League football, of course, next season to look forward to. Leao, Young Player of the Year. I feel like he's maybe Young Player of the Year at 22, but there we go. Team of the Year, I don't really have any complaints. It's good to see Onana got in there. He was brilliant for us, I thought, when we signed him. Maybe a surprise that Toussaint gets in ahead of Bonifazi in the back four. Douglas at left back. I don't think Zagreb maybe played enough to get in there. And I think if we are going to play with wingers, then that's maybe fair enough in midfield. McCalmont perhaps over Bogac. Could you have put Phillips and Kene in there as well? But no real complaints about the team, I wouldn't have thought. And Bartelik just ahead of Coyle at right back. Leao, Golden Boot winner with 19 goals. Excellent stuff after a really, really slow start to the season as well. Calvin Phillips, the highest average match rating, 7.41. Phillips with 11 assists as well. Kiko Casilla bows out as a Leeds United first-choice goalkeeper. He'll probably leave in the summer. I don't think we want to pay 50 grand a week for our backup goalkeeper, especially when he's not particularly great anymore. We'll try and see if we can move him on. Where were we here? Calvin Phillips, 6 Man of the Match awards. Not an award we give out on the night, but he was top of that as well. Bartelik with the golden card, 11 bookings, which was a really good effort. I thought Gary Turpin might be a chance, I'll be honest. He seemed to get booked every time he played, but maybe just didn't quite play as many games, and that held him back. And we can see there the red cards from Bogac, Coyle and Kene, but not enough to get them into the golden card consideration. The overall 11 for our sort of time at the club so far, no real surprises. Casilla's still there, but I think Onana will eventually take that shirt from him. Coyle, Bonifazi, Souttar and Douglas, no real complaints there, to be honest. Phillips, Bogac and Shackleton, how we missed Shackleton. We'll tell you what, we did okay without him, didn't we? How did he do this year? It doesn't look like he played. He played 2 games. Arsenal paid £40 million for Jamie Shackleton, and he played 2 league games all year. A couple more off the bench. That is outrageous. What are you doing to my boy? I wonder if we could get him back. Anyway, Bogac, yeah, fair enough. I think Mariba will probably make a showing in there at some point. Pablo Hernandez on the right, Bowen on the left, Leao up top. Again, I don't think we have any real complaints. The bench is Onana, Cooper, Bartelik, McCalmont, Alina, Klitsch, and Edouard. So there we go. Season review, we finished 7th in the league, which wasn't too bad, but the 2 cup wins, the FA Cup and the Europa League, was amazing. Lost in the semi-final. Barlow Torre cost us the semi-final, didn't he, against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. We could have almost done a cup treble. Match of the season, a 3-1 win away to Bournemouth. The match to forget. That was early, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that was not even opening day, I think. The first game of the season, we got absolutely walloped by Wolves at home. Ellen Road, 97% full. I'm wondering if it's time to ask the board for an expansion of the stadium. I think we have money in the bank now as well, with 86 million. So I think it might be time that we look for that Champions League money, of course, coming next year as well. 30 players used, only 2nd in the Premier League. I usually like to get top of that. Vision and expectation meeting. Play entertaining football is required. Develop youth players in the system. We've been doing that. We've been playing attacking football as best we can. Don't sign players over 30. We haven't been doing that. High tempo pressing football. That's new, I think, isn't it? We generally try and do that anyway. Sign high reputation players. That is definitely new. So that's maybe what we need to look to do over the summer. Sign young players to develop for a profit, work within a wage budget, minimum 3-year contract for first team players. We tend to do that anyway. top half Premier League finish and Champions League group stage minimum. I've got to say, I think that's very, very generous of them. That should be very, very simple, considering we're already in the group stage. Training facilities, youth facilities, and data analysis facilities upgrades will all be complete. That should put us pretty much at state of the art for all of those, which is excellent. So there we go. We will accept that current vision. Squad dynamics, Casilla will probably be leaving, Cooper will be staying, and Phillips hopefully will be staying. It's just whether the Liverpool interest materialises into him or not. And we can see the rest of the big boys there. Nothing else there to see. Now let's have a look at what we want to do for next season. Always looking for your feedback on this. If you have a look at which contracts are expiring, the main one is Barry Douglas. My plan was to let him go at the end of this season, but Barlow Torre has just not worked out for us. I'm actually thinking now I might give Douglas a 1-year contract and maybe look to move Barlow Torre on and get another left back in if we can. Your thoughts on that? I mean, he's pretty much done as physically, but he wasn't too bad for us this year. 21 games in the league, a 7.14 match rating, 7.23 if you take into account cup games in Europe. He did play a couple of games in Europe as well. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe we give him another year and look to move Barlow Torre on, who's really disappointed me. But we know young goalkeeper Harrison Mayle, he'll be leaving. Just isn't going to cut it with us, and Hernandez, of course, as well, will be leaving. If we go and have a look at sort of how players did, Phillips, we know who the sort of the main players are. Sutar played a lot of games, as did Bartelli, Bonifazi, Casilla, but we've upgraded on him, and we can see there all the important players that played a lot of games for us. Tucson actually turned out to be quite the signing on a free transfer, didn't he? Now, if we want to go down to the bottom, this is more the players we're not using. Lumley, I think we will keep if we're going to get Kiko Casilla out, so he'll be sort of the number 2. Jordan Stevens, we're just not using him. I think it might be time at 22 that we let him move on. We have another young right winger coming through the academy in any case, so I think maybe Jordan Phillips has just missed the boat with us. Pascal Srijak, or have you say that name? Again, maybe we look to move him on. We do have young defenders coming through the academy, so maybe we move him on. Hernandez, we know, is leaving. Tishi Bua is a strange one. I'm increasingly thinking he's maybe not going to quite make it for us. We signed him for not too much, was it? 2.7. If we could get our money back, well, we could almost double our money, to be honest. So we might look to move him on in the summer as well. And we can see there, Turpey's just coming through. And Coric is another one, actually, that I don't think has worked out the way I was hoping. So we might look to move him on as well, if we can. To give you an update, I will quickly show you as well. Goals, we know it was Leao and Edouard leading the way. Edmondson, Alina with 9 goals from midfield. Excellent stuff, including that goal in the FA Cup final. Bowen had another good year in front of goal. Mariba, Suter, Costa. Costa's another one. I don't think we want to sell him necessarily, but I wouldn't be against it if we got... He's only on 35 grand a week, so he's probably worth keeping for that. Xerxes, 6 goals from 12 starts, wasn't too bad. Do we get him back on loan again next year with Batista Meyer as well? There's the question for the class. But yeah, lots and lots of goal scores. If we look at the assists, Calvin Phillips just ahead of Bowen. Now, when Bowen plays, he does quite well. The problem is that he tends to have really good games and then games he's anonymous in. You can see his form really tailed off at the end of the season. And also, we're kind of moving away from wingers a little bit, but I don't want to get rid of him. Bartelli had a good year. Mariba, McCalmont, Bogac, and Batista Meyer all with 5+ assists. And average match ratings, I mean, look at the green there. Helena Costa actually had a higher average match rating, but didn't play enough games to sort of qualify for the golden anchor there. But Bowen had a good season. Look at Toussaint there, 4th in average rating. Excellent stuff. Kene right up there, as is Leao, Barry Douglas, Bartelik, all the way down there. If we look down at the disappointments, what have I done there? Barlow Torre, Edmondson was just under 7, but that's fine. Barlow Torre I think we need to have a serious discussion about him. What do you think, guys? Do we get rid of him? He's worth 17, 18 million. I don't think we get that for him. He's just not developed how that we were expecting him to. He's 25. I don't think he's going to get much better. 50 grand a week. I I think when we come back tomorrow for the summer transfer special, we might be seeing the end of Barlow Toure. But nobody, Coric didn't have a great season, first season at the club, but as I said, I think we might look to move him on. But generally, things have done well. But there we go, guys. That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed that. And who doesn't enjoy qualifying for the Champions League? But now it is time for the goal of the season. Now, if you haven't come across this before, the way this will work is that there will be a little compilation here. There will be the Helder Costa goal and 3 others I deem worthy of goal of the season. Up the top there at the end, there'll be a little eye. Click on that, vote for your favourites. But before that, we'll have a quick look back at some of the honourable mentions. Goals definitely worth a second look, if not goal of the season worthy. Until next time, guys, when we have a summer transfer special. I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. And here are our top 4 goals of the 21-22 season. Don't forget to vote for your favourite.